Orla. Minister, I want to raise the issue of the Connacht-Ulster Alliance with you, as I have done on many previous occasions. We had hoped that the application would be submitted by the end of last year, but that hasn't happened. However, I believe from my inquiries that negotiations are in the final stages with hopefully positive outcomes. So, Minister, can you confirm what I've said regarding the CUA application and if the Government is actively supporting this process? Secondly, Deputy McSharry spoke about the possible linkage of St Angela's with IT Sligo rather than NUIG in the context of the upcoming application for the Technological University. So I agree with Deputy McSharry. I don't always, but I do on this occasion. He made a very comprehensive and cogent argument for looking and proposing that connection between the two colleges. So there wasn't time, unfortunately, for an answer. So therefore, Minister, I'd like your comments on the possibility of a linkage with St Angela's and NUIG, and if in fact you support that course of action.
Minister.
Thanks very much, and thank you to Deputy Harkin for her question. And yes, my information in relation to Connacht-Ulster and the application for a technological university is the same as the Deputy's. We're expecting that application imminently. My department and myself and government is very supportive of it. The North West needs this university. I think there's really, really exciting opportunities in terms of regional development, in terms of students being able to access the full range of university education at all levels within their own region. Some of the discussions we've just been having there about people from rural communities having to travel, the ability to be able to stay in your own region, learn in your own region, makes it much more likely you can continue to live in your own region, and that has very, very many significant benefits. So I'm very excited about the Connacht-Ulster Alliance. I'm also excited for the possibility of collaboration between the North West and the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland, and the commitments government has in relation to the McGee campus in Derry, and I look forward to continuing to work with Deputy Harkin on the Connacht-Ulster Technological University. In relation to St Angela's, and thank you for providing me with the time that unfortunately I didn't have earlier, I've met St Angela's. I'm blown away by them. I think that it's a brilliant college. I want to pay tribute to Amanda McLeish, the president there. I've met the chair of the governing authority. I think it's Mr. Justice Fennelly. I've met the Ursuline Sisters. A really, really, really proactive, innovative college, one that clearly puts the welfare of its students at the heart of what it does. I can't speak highly enough of them from the engagements that I've had with them. In relation to the issue of who they merge with or where they sit, I would say two things. Firstly, I would say this is dragging on way too long, and I know that's a view St Angela's would share. I mean, the idea that is it 6 years, 7 years, maybe longer that we're still talking about this is kind of pathetic, to be quite honest. It's not good enough. There needs to be a decision, there needs to be clarity, and it needs to happen quickly. The second thing I would say, and I think to the Deputy's point, the landscape has now changed. And that's not me coming down on one side or the other, because I don't think that would be helpful to the process. But the idea that there's only one partner is no longer the case, for a whole load of reasons, including the development of the Technological University agenda. Being one as well. So what I would say is, when I became Minister, the view originally had been there was one option and one option only. I want the Deputy to know that that view has now changed from my engagement, and my officials have written to St Angela's and invited them to put forward proposals and a business case, if you like, as to how they may wish to align or merge or engage with other institutions beyond NUI Galway. And that process is live at the moment. With an opportunity, I think, for the HEA and my department to consider any potential merger with a variety of different partners to put themselves forward. But do hear what I say in that regard, that I think it's going on too long, and I do think there's more than one viable partner, and I'd like to see those two issues addressed and addressed quickly. Thank you.
Deputy Harkin.
And I'm really pleased to hear your response, because you're taking a regional perspective, which, as you said yourself, is absolutely essential for the development of the region and, of course, for my own particular issue, balanced regional development. My second question refers to a specific query from a constituent who's doing a BA in social care in NUIG. Minister, as part of this course, students have to complete 800 hours unpaid placement over 4 years. Now, as you can imagine, that's been especially difficult in the last year and practically impossible this year. So my question to you, and I'm not expecting an immediate response, is would you look at or would you propose that either the 800 hours could be stretched out over whatever remaining years remain in the course for each student, or indeed that you might look at cutting back on the hours, and that if you would liaise with Coru on this?
Minister.
The answer to the last bit is yes, because I don't hold all the levers in relation to this. I could give you a long answer about how all higher education institutions are autonomous, they're academically independent. There are, as you say, the professional regulators, including Coru. But look, there needs to be a common sense here. I mean, we can't have a situation where we have a year where we miss out on graduates, particularly in a place like social care where we need so many to address a whole load of societal needs. So what I'm asking all of the professional bodies, all of the regulators to do is to do what you say, is to challenge themselves to see how they can respond in a pragmatic way that doesn't lessen quality, that doesn't lessen qualification, but tries to respond to the very difficult situation COVID has presented us. And I can assure you there's a lot of engagement going on. I've asked for submissions through my officials from USI, from professional bodies and from others to try to bottom this out within this month. So we are engaging very extensively in this topic.